Steve, can you tell me when you first got into Graham Bonnet, basically?
In 1979, when Rainbow changed everything and wanted to become commercial, and Since You've Been Gone came on board, that's when I kind of first heard of Graham Bonnet.
When did you first get to meet Graham yourself?
In 1991, he was rehearsing with Ray Fennick on the Wind in the Willows thing in Sunningdale. And I just got in touch with David Kasner at President Records because he was doing the Forcefield stuff and his solo album.
Yeah.
And David Kasner phoned me up because I'd sent him the first couple of issues of Under the Bonnet. And he said, "Hey, I've got somebody here who wants to speak to you." And it was Graham, and I didn't believe him at all. And he says, "Hello, it's Graham Bonnet here." And I'm going, "Yes, of course it is." And he said, "It really is." And after we'd had a good laugh about it, I asked him if I could come down and do a big interview with him throughout all his career. And I spent 2 days in Sunningdale chatting to Graham. Yes.
So you actually got to meet his mum and dad and other members of his family in the course of the research?
But Lou, Graham's dad, was absolutely tremendous. I came and stayed in a hotel here the first time in Skegness, and then he said, "You can stay at my house whenever you wish," and that was truly wonderful. And I met so many people from the Skegness days. Their stories are absolutely mind-blowing. And now, in this, that was 25 years ago. And today, some of these people, sadly, aren't with us. So the interviews I did back then, which are in the book, are invaluable.
Yeah. How do you rate bands like his work with the Marbles and groups like that?
I think the Marbles started off really good. And they had some good songs, obviously written by the Bee Gees. It would have been nice to have seen the duo develop how they wanted to develop. And that never happened. No. As Trevor Gordon said, and I'm sure Graham agreed, and would agree today, that the album that came out later, after they'd split up, wasn't the finished product. It was just like a half album with some polished up tracks, which wasn't really how it had been meant to be.
Yeah.
And they could have been better given a proper band.
By default, can you explain to us what you found out about that in the course of research in the book, how the Marbles came to pick Graham Bonnet, as it were, for Rainbow?
Well, as I understand it, Cozy was playing Guess the Track or something, and he said, "Hey, who's this? Who's the singer on this track?" And it was only one woman. And that brought the question, or posed the question, where is this guy? And I'm presuming Roger Glover probably got in touch with Mickey Moody, who'd worked with Pip Williams, etc., did a few phone calls, and eventually, because of Graham being, working with Pip, stroke John Eden, and Mickey Moody had done Graham's solo stuff in 77 and 78, and we're talking here early 79. That's how it came about.
Yeah. Can you remember when you've been writing the fanzine and publishing the fanzine, when you sort of started to think seriously about putting it all together in a biography? Can you remember?
Yes, I can. I was on tour with Graham when he was in the Taz Taylor band, and he jogged my memory about it. Because I'd been playing in bands for 25 years and at that point still involved in a way but slightly different. We sat down having breakfast one day, and Graham nudged me in that respect, saying, "What's happening with the book?" Because I'd put it on the back burner about 2 or 3 times. And I said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And about 18 months after that, I really got stuck into it. Brought people on board from the old days, new people, I did new interviews, and I really started to piece it together big style. I got to know his friends, I got to know his family here in Skegness. And I think, and the trust was there because, you know, I mean, now it's kind of like 25 years since I first met Graham. You know, I've not gone away and come back and gone away and come back. I've always been there. And because I've tried to show, you know, my interest in the old days as well, and have a laugh, and you know, and again, I played in bands for 25 years, like I said. I can come in from a musical angle and talk to him, not on his level, obviously, but on a level, about music and harmonies and what's it like in the studio, and, you know, double tracking yourself or bouncing this, that and the other around. And it's good to do that with people, you know, and I think Graham's, you know, trusted me on that. I've given it my best shot. I've tried to bring people on board from every perspective of Graham's career, whether it's Pete Tomlinson, who I interviewed in 1991 when Graham was with the Skyliners and the Pete Tomlinson Band, or whether it's, you know, members of the band today where quotes have come along. Some people have been interviewed in great lengths, some people have just given odd quotes, but there is somebody on board from every corner of Graham's career. And everybody, you know, I'm just grateful and thankful for what everybody's offered, and piecing it all together has been difficult, but it's been good, and it's gone into some detail, and hopefully people will read stories they've never, you know, heard before. And I think the first 3 chapters, which covers the beginnings in Skegness to the end of 1978, will be very interesting, you know, to everybody, hopefully.